and Mrs. Speakers, we believe that the state has a legitimate role in preventing long-term societal harm and protecting public order, even in cases where the harm is indirect or self-inflicted, but our burden is to prove that these acts still carry negative consequences that justify continued criminalization. The government say that discriminalizes victimless crime is more effective, but here's the question. It is more effective in help the society or just the perpetrator? We must tell you that the victimless crime is still a crime. It still had a bad impact and consequences whatever they do, whether it's drug use, gambling, or prostitution, for example. We should watch not only the perpetrator but the impact to all of us, to society, and that's why I'm here to stand for. First, victimless doesn't mean harmless. For example, if someone lying to their family, whether it's mom, their father, their grandpa, grandma, whatever it is, the victim doesn't know that they get fooled, but it's harmless. We all know the answer. Second, criminal law shapes social norms. But before we go to the argument, I'm gonna rebuttal the government first. First, the government said that providing more rehabilitation is more effective. It's bullshit. By providing more rehabilitation means decrease the punishment of the culprit. Did all of them who did the victimless crime always the victim of their horrible life? Of course not. Many people were still doing the crime but still in a sane condition and full awareness of what they did. Many criminals doing that thing just because of curiosity that affected by their environment and even just for fun or just because I can. With providing more rehabilitation, it's indeed help the problematic person, but it will more make other people to have a little desire to doing that crime with no fear. They will just think that as long there's no victim, I'll just get that lame rehabilitation. That will make them underestimate the value of law and increase the risk that doing the crime. Second, in-person is not effective. Well, of course not. Someone getting impersonate not just by a mere reasons. There must be a heavy crime they already did. They must get in prison. We should know prison is not just to isolate them from the world, but it's also for self-reflection. They also get disciplines and educated for norma. They will also get to work in prison to increase their responsibility. Instead of rehabilitation, prison absolutely more effective. However, people who get prisoned is not get physical punishment. And that's already clear. Here's my argument. First, victimless doesn't mean harmless. But Mr. and Mrs. Speakers, all of crime, there must be a victim whether it's directly or indirect. We take gambling as example. Someone who doing gambling is indeed themselves will really get the bad luck. But what about the family? Drug user will get addiction and then it will impact to the family. And that's the indirect victim. It will impact to the financial family bonding and we don't want that. And some for prostitution, that's in that their body, their right and their choice. But why cannot we look at the long-term impact? There's many impact for them like sick and the worst, what if they accidentally got pregnant? Who's the real victim? The baby of course, and that's also indirect impact. Second, criminal law shapes social norms. Law is a reflection of what society considers acceptable. Thus, criminalizing prostitution, drugs, or gambling can normalize and legitimate harmful behaviors, especially for youth. This undermines societal values, erodes moral standards, and set dangerous precedents. Thus, criminalization ignores these externalities and undermines the state's ability to maintain peace and comfort for the majority. And that's why we oppose this motion. Thank you.